Hello and welcome to another exam paper walkthrough. Today we're looking at a really great set of revision papers produced by Edexcel. This is their aiming for a grade 4 series, and we're looking at the paper 3. It's a great revision for paper 2 or paper 3, written by them, based around questions that students found difficulty in previous examination series. So we'll kick straight off with question 1. Okay then, question 1. On Monday, Sandy pays for 2 plane tickets, 7 nights in a hotel and 2 theme park tickets. Show that Sandy pays more than $2,500 on Monday. So I'm going to write down the sum that she would use. So each plane ticket is $600. So that's total price. Total for her plane ticket is going to be then 600 times by 2. To that, I'm going to add 7 nights in a hotel, so 120 times by 7. And to that, I need to add on each theme park ticket, which is 2 lots of 250. Calculate paper, so I'm going to go straight to my calculator. I'm using the Class Whiz. There is a more modern version, but I have upgraded to this recently. Just type it in like it appears, making sure I've got my multiplications in the right place and my additions in the right place. So that adds up to $2,540. Show, so that I think that's enough for the show. Okay, question 2. What time is 2 hours and 40 minutes after 8:05? So I'm going to show you how to do this on your calculator using your calculator mode. You might be more than happy doing it without your calculator mode. I'm going to start by typing the time 8:05 into my calculator. So that's 8 time function 05 time function. That says 8 hours and 5 minutes. And to that I want to add on 2 hours and 40 minutes. And my calculator will automatically do that for me, telling me 10 hours, 45 minutes and 0 seconds, so 10:45. I'm sure you're more than capable of doing it without a calculator, but it's useful to just do a recap of how that time function works. Okay then, on to question 3. So this graph shows information about car production in the UK over 8 years. So car production in millions and year 1 to 8. How many of these years was the production more than 1.4 million? So 1.4 million is this line here. I'll put it in as a dotted line for now. And we want the number of years that are above that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 years. And then in which 2 years was the car production the same? So we're looking for where the bars are the same height. That's these two. So year 5 and year 6. Okay, and on to question 4. Karen buys 200 tiles. The tiles are sold in boxes. There are 25 tiles in each box. Each box of tiles costs £9.75. Work out the total number of boxes of tiles that Karen buys. Okay, so that reads like we don't work out the total cost of the boxes. Okay, so if he wants 200 tiles and they come in boxes of 25, we're going to do 200 divided by 25, and then whatever our answer is, we need to times by £9.75. And I can just type it into my calculator like that. So 200 divided by 25 times by 9.75 gives me £78. Okay, question 5. Write the following numbers in order of size, starting with the smallest. So the smallest one on this list is looking like -6. So going -6, -4, -3, 0, 1, 2, and 7. Right, question 6. Write 45% as a decimal. So You can do this on your calculator if you particularly wanted to. 45 shift and then the percent button equals, and then as a decimal that's going to be 0.45, although I'm sure that you are more than capable of doing that without a calculator. Right, question 7. Write 40% as a fraction. So 40% as a fraction, again, you can do this on your calculator if you wanted to. Shift 40% equals 2/5. And then 2.5 squared on 2.5 squared gives us the value 6.25. Right, question 9. AB is a straight line marked with across the midpoint. So we're going to be using a ruler for this one. I'm doing it on my computer screen. I'm measuring it at flat bang 7 centimeters, so halfway between is going to be 3.5. Obviously, yours might be slightly different as you're using the actual value rather than my image. Right, question 10. So this graph shows information about the time in minutes a liquid has been cooling and the temperature of the liquid in degrees C. So we've got time versus temperature. What is the temperature of the liquid at 2 minutes? So at 2 minutes, I'm going to go up to where it hits my graph, and then I'm going to go across and read the value, and it looks like 80 to me. So I'm going to go 80. Pam records the time when the liquid has a temperature of 50 degrees C. Work out the time. So I'll change pen colour for this. So at 50, I'm going to go across until I hit my graph. And then I'm going to go down, and it's just before the 8. So just before the 8, so I'm going to go 7.8, I think. I'll go, I would imagine there's a plus or minus of 0.2 on there. Okay, is there a part C? There is. Pam says the temperature in the liquid drops more in the first 3 minutes of cooling than it does between 9 and 12 minutes. Is Pam correct? So the temperature in the first 3 minutes drops from 100 to 72. So we've dropped a total of, no, actually that's 74. Yeah. So we've dropped a total of 26 degrees there. And then they said between 9 and 12. So between 9 and 12, we've dropped from 46 to temperature of 40. So it's only dropped 6 degrees. So is she correct? Yes. Values I got. Yes, it dropped 26 degrees in the first 3 minutes and only 6 degrees in 9 to 12 minutes. Okay, question 11. Write down 2 factors of 35. So I'm going to start dead simple. So you've got lots of factor pairs of 35. I'm going to start with 1 and 5. Those are going to be the first 2 factors. It doesn't say factor pairs. You could also have 7 or 35. That would also be fine. Okay, question 12 then. So we've got a nice two-way table. I'm going to enter the information from the question before I do anything. So Vadim has 56 clocks. They're only red, blue, or black. 32 of the clocks are plastic, so plastic total would be 32. 5 out of the 14 blue clocks are plastic, so that's 2 bits of information. I can do 14 there and 5 there. And then 8 of the 12 red clocks are not plastic. So red clocks, I've got 8 and 12 that I can fit in there. So that's all the information from the question. That's kind of a level 1 processing. I'm then going to fill in these blanks. So this value here has got to be 9 because 14 take away 5 is 9. This value here has got to be 4. This adds up to 9. We need it to add up to 32. So this has got to be 23. We can do this value here. So we've got to have 24 because 56 take away 32 would be 24. We can also look at this value here. 8 plus 9 is 17. 24 take away 17 is going to be 7. And then finally, this one should be 30 if I do it this way. If I do it this way as well, 12 plus 16 is 26. And then 56 take away 26 is 30. So I'm confident with that. Do we have a follow-up question? We do not. Okay, right. Question 13. What fraction of the shape is shaded? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 shaded. And we've got 13, 14, 15, 16. So I've got a step too far, 12 out of 16. And then simplifying it, I'm going to use my calculator to simplify. 12 out of 16 is going to be 3/4. Okay, question 14. Work out a third over 24, so in effect that means a third times by 24. So do that in your calculators. From calculator. So 1/3 times by 24 gives me 8. Okay, question 15. There are 3 cards in bag A and 2 cards in bag B. Each has a letter on them. James takes a card from bag A, then a card from bag B. List all the possible outcomes. 2-mark listing question again. So we could have had an E followed by a J, and we could have had an E followed by a K. Then we could have had an E, F and a J, and an F and a K. And then we could have had a G and a J, and a G and a K. Right, question 16, simplify. So when we simplify, we collect like terms together. So 3x plus 2x would give me 5x. And then 5y minus 4y would just be y. So 5x plus y. Solve, we're going to minus 7 from both sides. That would give us 5p is equal to 15. Divide both sides by 5 gives you p is equal to 3. Okay, question 17. There are only 5 blue cards, 5 green cards, 4 red cards in a pack. Isabel is going to take at random 1 card from the pack. Write down the probability that Isabel will take a blue card. So we've got 5 blue cards, and we've got a total of 5 plus 2 plus 4. So we've got a total of 11 cards. So it's 5 out of 11. Ken is going to throw a biased dice once. The probability that it will land on a 6 is 0.3. What is the probability that it will not land on a 6? So that's going to be 1 minus 0.3. So that would be 0.7. Okay, question 18. Corinne has £300 to spend on books. Each book costs £4.85. Work out the greatest number of books that Karina can buy. So we're going to go 300 divided by 4.85. And we should get a decimal as our answer. Okay, what I'm going to do is convert that into a mixed fraction just for kind of ease. So we can buy 61 books and then we'd have a fraction left over, but we're going to say 61 and 83 out of 97. So she can buy 61 books. Right, question 19. Work out 1/6 of 66. So in effect, use our calculators, but 1/6 times by 66 is going to be 11. Okay, for question 20, we've got to draw an accurate drawing of an isosceles triangle. Let me just see. Yeah, right. So I'm going to use my snipping tool just to help me explain how I would do this. So if I just take this to another sheet, it will just make it easier for me to set this out. Right, so the way I'm going to do this, I'm just going to zoom in a tiny bit. Right. So we're assuming that this is 6, so I'm going to use my ruler to kind of make that's, if that's 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I want to make my ruler slightly smaller. I think I can do that. I can remember how. Doesn't look like I can. So in effect, I want to measure 6 centimeters. I'm going to say that 6 centimeters on my diagram is going to be roughly, let's say there. Doesn't need to be on your diagram, it's just a way that I can show it. So the next thing you need to do is you need to get your compass, and you set your compass arms to 6 centimeters. So when your compass arms are set to 6 centimeters, you need to place the compass point on one end of the line and arc into the center. And then keeping your compass arms the same length apart, you need to put your compass point on the other end and arc into the center. And the point where your 2 lines cross becomes your top vertice or top kind of corner of your triangle. So your final step is to just join those points up to the end of the triangle. So first line, spin it round to the other side, spin the ruler around to the other side. And that's my accurate drawing. That's my accurate drawing. As an examiner, we're looking for these compass lines, these construction lines. Those are really the key kind of points that we look for when marking these. Right, so I'm just going to add to my solutions that I've done that on snipping tool. So snip used to show. Okay, question 21 then. So we've got a very similar question to a question that I've just done on a predicted paper, which is no drama. Harry needs to buy at least 30 batteries. He assumes batteries in whole packs. He wants batteries as cheaply as possible. So for shop A, he is going to be able to do 30 divided by 1.6. So 30 divided by 1.6. So he's going to need 19 packs. No, I've divided by the wrong thing there. 30 divided by the number of batteries. 30 divided by 4, so 7.5. So we need to buy 8 packs at £1.60 each. And then from shop B, he needs 30 divided by 6. He needs 5 packs. And then 5 times by 2.70. So 8 times by 1.6. And I've cut that in completely wrong. Let's do that again. 8 times by 1.6 gives me £12.80. If he buys all the batteries from shop A and then from shop B, £13.50. So which shop is cheaper? So that would be shop A. Shop A has £12.80 is less than £13.50. Harry's assumption is wrong. He can buy single batteries for 40p from shop A and 45 pence from shop B. How does this affect which 2 shops of batteries he would buy from? He bought his packs from shop B exactly, so there's no need for that for shop B. For shop A, he could have, instead of buying, he could have bought 28, so he could have bought it for less from shop A, so it doesn't affect our answer. So it does not affect answer. Okay, question 22. Malik is going to throw a fair coin 50 times, write down an estimate for the number of times it will land on a head, half the time, so 25. Paul and Simon are trying to find out if a different coin is biased. Paul throws the coin 10 times. She records the number of times the coin lands on a head. Simon throws the same coin 100 times. He records the number of times it lands on a head. Whose results will be more useful in deciding if the coin is biased? Give a reason for your answer. Simon's, as he did it more times. Okay, 23. Change 300 centimeters into meters. Well, there are 100 centimeters in a meter, so we're looking at 3 meters. Okay, question 24. Simplify. So we're looking at 4AB for my simplification. For C, for part B, 4x minus x would be 3x, and then 3 plus 5 would be 8. So 3x plus 8. Right, question 25. Work out the perimeter of this shape. So we've got 2 lengths that are missing currently. This length here is missing, but it's going to be 10, take away 4, so that's going to be 6. And then this length here is going to be 2. So in effect, it doesn't overly matter because we don't expect many people to spot it, but it's going to be the total. If you think this length and this length equals 10, this length and this length equals 7, we can do, you're supposed to add it all the way around the outside, but you could do 2 times by 7 plus 10. So 2 times by 17 is going to be 34. That will work true as well if you did 7 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 2 plus 10. Okay, question 26, write 196 minutes in hours and minutes. So we can use a calculator to do this. This is a nice function on our calculator. Type in 0 hours and 196 minutes. And then when we press equals, it will automatically convert it into hours and minutes for us. So that's 3 hours and 16 minutes. Part B. A train travels X miles in 2 hours. Write down an expression in terms of X for the average speed. Speed is distance divided by time, so X over 2. Right, question 27 then. So Jenna measures all the angles around a point. Her results are 23, 145, 23, and 69. Explain why these results cannot be true. Well, if we add them up, 23 plus 145 plus 23 plus 69 gives us a total of 260. And angles in around a point need to add up to 360. So reason angles at a point add to make 360. Full stop. Jenna's add up to 260. So she must be wrong. Right, question 28. Work out the value of 300 divided by 2 times 5. So that's going to be 300 divided by 10, which should be 30. But let's just see with it. Calculator agrees with us. 30. Work out the value of, and again we can type this into our calculator, so 6 minus 2.5, close bracket, 8 plus 4, close bracket, equals 42. Could have worked it out separately, but there's no real reason why we would do that. Reciprocal of 20. On your calculator, you've got this reciprocal function is struggling to spot it straight away. There it is. So, no. So just checking that I'm not going absolutely bonkers. So I've got this button on my old calculator. I'm just looking for it on my new calculator. Ah, there it is, right in slap bang in the center. So apologies for that. 20, that gives you the reciprocal, so 1 over 20. Right, question 29. Here's a list of the first five terms in a number sequence. Write down the next 2 terms of the sequence. So this sequence is going down by 5 each time, so we're looking at 20 and then 15. A term in the sequence is minus 5. Which term? So if we carry on with the sequence, we're going to actually, I'm going to do that like this. So the common difference between the term is 5, so that means there's a minus 5n at the start of the sequence, and we need to add on 50 to get to the original first term, and we're going to say when is that equal to minus 5. So 45 has to be equal to 5n. Divide by 5, 9 is equal to n, so it would be the 9th term. And then final part, the nth term of a different sequence is given by the expression 4n plus 3. Find the 9th term of this sequence. So I'm doing 4 times by n, which is 9, plus 3. So 4 times by 9 plus 3 gives me 39. And I've just spotted I've made a mistake up here. It should have been 55. So that should have been 11. So it was the 11th term. Have we got part C? Let's have a look. No, that's the end of the question. Okay. Question 30. A stadium costs £600 million. 13/15 of the cost was for the building. The rest of the cost was for the land. Work out the cost of the land. So we're doing 600 million. I'm going to work in millions, so times by 13 over 15. That's 600 times by 13 over 15 gives me, and I've done that slightly the wrong way. That's the cost of the land. Sorry, the cost of the building. So the cost of the land would have been 80 million. So I've probably taken it, well, I have taken a slightly longer way than I needed to for that one. What I should have done is 600 times by 250, which would again give me 80. Slightly more direct way. So let me just change that numerator. Okay, question 31. The scatter graph shows information about the volume of traffic and the carbon dioxide level on a road in 22 days. So carbon monoxide level and volume on traffic. Write down the one point is an outlier. Write down the coordinates of this point. Well, that's the outlier. It doesn't match the rest of the data. So the coordinate of that is 118. For another day, 370 cars passed by the road. Estimate the carbon monoxide level on that day. So I'm going to have to draw a line of best fit That's the line that best represents the data. So I'm going to go roughly there. We'll slightly out from mine, and then we've got 370. So that would be 375. So I'm looking at 370 just before that. So I'm going there. And I've gone slightly wrong on mine. Go 370 again. So that would be 350, 60, 70. So I'm looking more like there. And then go across. So I'm making it 14. Right, just below 14. Let's go 13.9. And I think you would have a plus or minus on that question of, let's say, about 0.4 at least. They're pretty generous on line of best fit questions. And is there a part C? Yeah. Alfie says, because there is an outlier, there is no correlation. Is Alfie correct? You must give a reason for your answer. No. Outliers can be ignored. Let's spell liars right. Liars can be excluded or ignored. Excluded from the normal trend. Right, question 32. So we've got quadrilateral, PST is a straight line. Find the value of y. Okay, so I'm going to find this value first of all. So I'm going to do 360 minus 95 minus 130 minus 65. So 360, the angle sum of a quadrilateral, minus 95 minus 130 minus 65 gives me a total of 70 degrees. So y is going to be equal to 180 minus 70, so it will be 110. Okay, question 33 then. Write 4.5 times 10 to the 5 as an ordinary number. So we're looking at moving the decimal point 5 places, so we'd be bringing in 4 zeros, so 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Part B, write 0.007 in standard form, so that's going to be 7 times 10 to the, and then we've got 3 zeros in the number, so minus 3. And then work out, so on my calculator I'm going to do this, so 4.2 times by 10 to the 3, and I want to plus 4.3 times 10 to the 2, so that's going to give me 4,730. 4,730. So in standard form, that's going to be 4.73 times by 10 to the, and we've moved it 3 places, so to the 3. Okay, question 24. A, B, and C each have some money. A has 65, B has £100. Carl has 3 £5 notes, 1 £20 notes, and some £10 notes. The mean amount of money of the people is £80. How many £10 notes does Carl have? Okay, so let's start by saying that A, B, and C. So A has 65, B has 100, and then Carl 3 £5 notes and 1 £20 notes and some £10 notes. So 3 £5 notes would be 15, plus 20 would be 35, plus 10 times X, which is going to be the number of £10 notes. So the mean of their money is £80. So let's switch that around a bit. Let's say that they add up to if their mean is 80, it's going to be 3 lots of 80. So 65 plus 100 plus 35 adds up to 200. So 200 plus 10x is going to be equal to 240. So 10x is going to be equal to 40. So x is going to be equal to 4. So he has 4 £10 notes. Okay, and that brings us to the end of that paper. Really nice aiming for grade 4 paper. Good mix of questions. Really liked it. I will chapter link the top. Actually, I can bring that in. Hopefully you found that useful. This is a link to the questions. Whichever question you found most challenging, it'll be linked into the chat function of this. But those are the topics that each question was. So, for example, if you struggled most on question 24, simplifying and manipulating algebraic expressions with fractions, I will chapter link each of those topic skills though to the questions. Thank you very much for your time in watching. If you have any comments or feedback, please feel free to type them into the chat. If you found this video useful, please subscribe if you like.